Hi everyone, welcome to the Module 5 overview. I am sorry I didn't do an overview or response on the grading for Module 4. I'm kind of taking some notes on that section, or I did, and I'm going to be using those in our WebEx meeting that we'll be having here in a few weeks. But overall, I am really enjoying how everyone is really taking the readings and thinking about how it can be applied in their own work or in their future work or connected to past experiences. It's really exciting to read. So here's for Module 5, a few things for us to do this week. We have our objectives as usual. We have a few things that we need to do this week. And we're going to be reading our third book that we haven't quite read yet. We'll read parts 1 and 2 this module and parts 3 the next module. So if you want to keep reading it, just go for it. That'll be the next 2 weeks for us. Again, we'll have our Essence of Readings discussion. You all have been doing really well with that. Again, be thinking about the questions you can ask of each other when you're responding to comments so that you can broaden the depth of your discussion. You also have this blog on CSAO, or Chief Student Affairs Officer, VP Student Affairs. CSAO, or Chief Student Affairs Officer, is commonly used as many campuses can call them different things. It could be Dean of Students, it could be Vice Presidents, they could be Vice Chancellors. So in this blog, there'll be some prompts for you to think about leadership and executive leadership in student affairs. Is kind of the focus of our module this week, and thinking about the path to that executive leadership. And then you'll be wrapping up your interviews. Those will be due next week in Module 6, thinking about leadership progress in the profession of student affairs. I'll need you to identify a topic for your final paper. And what this paper is going to be focused on is a challenge, or a challenge in higher ed, and how you would approach that problem. I want you to respond as if you were that Chief Student Affairs Officer, making that decision to address that problem and thinking about your approach and evidence to support that approach. So it's going to be just 5 pages, no more. I'm really strict on that limit, and that's because you'll need to be concise with your writing when you're approaching your dissertation topic. So that is why that's a 5-page paper. So just a little kind of let me know what you're thinking about, and so that I can kind of give you some responses. And then your reflection this week is a little unique, and you're going to be watching an interview with Father Andy Thon, who is a former Vice President of Student Affairs at Marquette University. Father Andy and I go way back, and he was actually the hall minister and the VP when I was at Marquette in my first job post-masters, where I was a hall director there. And so I found him very knowledgeable and experienced, and also very approachable in his work with student affairs professionals and other colleagues. And so last year he agreed to let me interview him via WebEx. And so I saved the recording, and I wanted you all to see that again. Even though it was last year, it's still very applicable to this content. That's why we recorded it to show in the future. He's someone that is just remarkable, and I hope that you get that in the flow of the interview. I'm going to email you as soon as this video is done a link to that interview that you can watch via a WebEx recording. If for some reason it doesn't work, please let me know, but I have tested it a few times tonight and it should work. So, and then once you watch that video, then you'll complete your reflection. I want to make sure that everyone is watching these videos. I see sometimes that the views aren't up to 11. We have 11 people in the class. And while they may seem pretty basic, sometimes I'm able to give you a little insight on what I'm looking for within these presentations and your work and your assignments. So with that, if you have any other questions, let me know, and I look forward to reading your blogs and work this week.